No, we're not doing a snow video today. We had to replace our stereo speakers. The speakers that we had on the system, I should say, is quite old. We bought them used at a yard sale. I'll show you what happened to them, and I'll show you what we had to do. I got them out here in the shed, the screenhouse, I should say. They're Becker, B-E-C-K-E-R. But we were getting lousy, distorted sound out of them. And come to find out, the surrounds went to hell, as you can see right here. Naturally, the cones are flopping around near the hole up in here, and they're gone. So, I mean, they can replace the woofers, but this day and age, you can't find speakers anymore that are any good without paying top dollar. Basically, there's just two places that you seem to be able to buy speakers these days unless you buy them online, and that's Best Buy and Radio Shack. Years ago, Radio Shack used to carry good quality speakers, the Realistic brand. Now they carry junk. So we had to buy two speakers to replace these here. These I got at a yard sale about 20 years ago, and they were used then. They had good sound, 12-inch woofers and everything, but no more. So I had to go out yesterday, and unfortunately we didn't want to deal with Best Buy because first of all, it's a bunch of, I don't know, high pressure salesmen, and their prices aren't all that good. We went to Radio Shack, and Radio Shack basically don't even have the stuff hooked up anymore. They had speakers, but none of them you were able to hear. What's going on with Radio Shack these days? As a matter of fact, it's not even called Radio Shack anymore, it's called the Shack. Between cell phones and that's about all they seem to have. So they had these two speakers, which I'm going to show you a picture of. And they have an 8-inch woofer in them, and they're nothing great. But then again, the stereo we had to replace about 3 years ago, is nothing great either. It's Best Buy's generic brand, and there's no bottom end on that either. So I guess the speaker's kind of like, you know, no better than the stereo. Whatever happened to the good sounding stuff? The stuff years ago you used to be able to get. Your KLH, your ARs, those are the good stuff. You can't get that anymore. Now they got junk out there. Of course, you can buy these ready-made stereos and things like that. That seems to be all there is that's out there. You can't seem to buy decent component stereo systems anymore without paying an arm and a leg. And speaker systems, I mean, we look at them online and they're very, very expensive. These things here that I'm going to show you only cost $60 a pair. So you get what you pay for. But the stereo has no bass anyway, so it really doesn't matter. The stereo that we bought about 3 years ago at Best Buy is the generic brand, as I said, of Best Buy, called Insignia. It's supposed to be like 100 watts a channel. Well, we had to replace the stereo because the original Techniques that we had up there, which was like 35 watts a channel, it sounded really good, but the controls were going bad and I couldn't keep them clean with contact cleaner. They would constantly be cutting out. Rather than to try to repair it and everything, I figured we would replace the stereo. But I'll tell you, when we put that up there, it had no bottom end at all in it. The Technique sounded so much better. So we got this Insignia, and the wife likes it, but it doesn't have a good, the bass is all the way up, and there's very, very little bass out of it when I had those Becker speakers hooked up to it. Now that the Beckers went to hell, we figured to buy these cheap speakers at the Radio Shack. And, well, like I said before, They just don't make stuff like they used to anymore. And of course, they're made in China. Pathetic.
Okay, she's full.